postponements. Some people even made some certain allegations and all that. What actually transpired during that period? And how did you react, when all that was happening?
Well, initially, actually, with the conclusion of the tenure of the past administration, wherein I was the secretary of the branch at that material time between 2018 and 2020, we had an electoral committee in place, which was headed by Professor Amos Nabulele of the University of Benin. The committee had perfected all arrangements for the election when, at the time, a candidate petitioned the national complaining of the fact that, among others, that that the electoral committee was not properly constituted. By virtue of the constitutional provision which governs the Nigerian Bar Association, we have the what we call the bylaws also, which governs the branches. The electoral committee should be 5, and at the time, of course, we had 7. The other 2 were to serve as ad hoc members, but the national didn't necessarily consider it a violation of the constitutional provision in terms of number, and that was the basis upon which the electoral committee was disbanded. Meanwhile, our tenure then lapsed on the 15th of June 2020. So because with the proscription of that, or disbandment of that committee, it was to be difficult for the government to be in place. I mean, for us then at the government to continue having had our tenure terminated at that stage on the 15th of June. A caretaker committee was now appointed for the branch. So we had 3 past chairmen of the Nigerian Bar Association from the Benin branch appointed to serve as caretaker committee for the purpose of conducting election. And then for the first instance of 3 months, the first instance, and then of course put in place a transition program, and that is exactly what has happened. So the committee came on board on the 15th of June 2020, and of course the process, an electoral committee was put in place, headed by Honorable Emmanuel Russo, past Commissioner for Employment Wealth Creation, and of course they have now done an election where all candidates participated. No candidate was disqualified. Okay. And we are on board.
Okay, all right. Very, very nice. Very okay. Now, on your emergence as the NBA chairman, for you, what is the first task as the chairman of the NBA in Benin branch now? What is the first task? What do you see as your number 1 task?
Well, good question. I have already begun a process of rebuilding the bar and reuniting members. That, to me, is a priority. In fact, I expected that with the build-up to the election, the events like you have just now alluded, crises, controversies, and protests from certain quarters, that there were, of course, bad blood generated in the process. And to an extent, persons with rights to say that the power was polarized, kind of among factions. So we deem it necessary to, after explaining this situation, of course, we would not want to preside over a divided bar. It's very, very necessary at this stage, and we consider it such to begin to reach out to our members, and with a view to having a united bar. In fact, one of the first committees, we had a first committee a few days, a day after our inauguration, and then the committee that was topmost on our agenda and which we have inaugurated is the Peace and Conflict Resolution Committee, which is headed by the past chairman of the branch, K.O. Obamode Esquire. And then, of course, chairman, Mr. Ewedeki, was past secretary of the branch. So, of course, with this, there are other members too, lecturers from the University of Benin and lawyers who have excelled in different areas of spheres. So they are going to put their wealth of experience together, reach out to members, and then we'll have a united bar. It's a task that we must accomplish.
All right, now let's go national. Recently, it's looking like NBA is now in the eyes of the news. Everybody's talking about NBA concerning the recent NBA annual conference and the disinvitation of Nasir El-Rufai. And then after that, we saw some lawyers that broke away and created what we call the NNBA. That's the new NBA. Now, in your own capacity as a new ESCO that is emerging in the front line of this whole issue, how are you going to contribute to make sure that once again NBA becomes one and not being dragged into the politics of the country?
Obviously, we feel strongly that we've been together as one big association for over 60 years. The last annual general conference was tagged and moving forward, and it actually marked the 60 years anniversary of the Nigerian Bar Association. Obviously, in an association like this, or like a large or big family, there will be divisions, disagreements, conflicts here and there, and this is just one of them.
Happening for the first time after 60 years?
Yes, this is just one of them, but it's been there, but not this loud.
Not very obvious.
Yes, not very obvious. And you know one thing with respect to Nigeria, we are being divided through this line, politically, religiously, otherwise, for any reason. So that's how it is in the NBA. It was the reason basically why some of them who feel strongly that this is our own, why would he be disinvited? Okay. So this is the way we can or would want to protest, by actually leaving the NBA and forming the new NBA. But obviously, so many people are reaching out. You know, Michael Zekome at the last AGM was all out, speaking to our colleagues all over the world, letting them know it's time for us to move ahead, knowing fully well we have a new president who wants to make the bar work for all. So this is not the time for us to start disintegrating or calling and churning for how to bring down the United Nigerian Bar Association. But sincerely, we will look at to see how we can fine-tune and bring everybody back.
Okay, now to you as the new publicity secretary of the NBA here in Benin, what would be the striking changes or change you will bring into the bar here in Benin? Something maybe your former publicity secretary didn't do, and you want to do it and create a change in the NBA here in Benin?
It's like a task for us, and during the electioneering campaigns and the manifestos, I make them understand that we are going to be having newsletters once in the quarter.
Okay.
We've never had that for a long time. I can't remember since I was called to the Nigerian Bar Association, having a newsletter from the branch.
Okay.
And by the end of October, a newsletter will emerge, comprising of all we have done thus far for the past 3 months.
Okay.
So everybody will get to the opportunity of going through it. It will now be a newsletter that will go wide from our branch and to other branches. So those are the things we are putting up together to do. And most importantly, we are going to be reaching out to the public.
Right.
The association is not strictly for us.
Okay.
We are supposed to be watchdog, the beacon of the society.
Okay.
We're going to be reaching out. You're going to be seeing us more here. We're going to be reaching out to the people. We are making sure that people who are there, who are out there, who cannot afford legal services, we are reaching out and helping out. Problem matters are going to be one of the things we're going to be doing on a daily basis as far as Nigerian Bar Association ESCO is concerned.
All right, now to you, Chairman, sir. I would really want to ask this question, and correct me if I'm wrong. Now, it's looking like the NBA, no matter the branch, Benin, Lagos, Abuja, it's looking like the NBA association is just for the elite legal practitioners. So how are you going to how are you going to close up that gap to also help young lawyers, especially those that have just been called into bar, that are just about to start practicing? How are you going to stretch forth your hands to them and make them understand that you can become a part of the NBA no matter how young you are? Because it's looking like the NBA association is just for the, elites and older people that have gone really deep into the profession.
Well, I don't want to believe that is what the founding fathers of the association really meant for us as an association.
Okay.
As a bar, we believe in equality of members, regardless of the status. Of course, the last election at the national and even at the branch has been able to demonstrate the fact that a vote counts. Regardless of your status, you are entitled to just a vote. And what we intend to do as a branch, and we did in the past too, but we intend to galvanize and then improve on it, is to engage in training and retraining of our members. It's one of our cardinal points in our manifesto. We're going to be organizing, partnering with international bodies, corporate bodies within and outside the country to organize workshop and symposium for our members. There are a lot of areas of interest in legal practice. Of course, some of our young lawyers will be engaged in these areas. They will need to explore. You don't necessarily need to be in Lagos or in Abuja to be able to practice law effectively. The practice in Benin may look a bit restricted to non-litigation or criminal matters, but we are going beyond that. Okay. We will have training and retraining of our lawyers. Of course, lawyers will also explore areas of information technology and other areas so that we'll be able to advance. And of course, we do not want to believe that lawyers who are of the elite alone should, of course, be the ones that will benefit from all this. Because it shouldn't be that it is only at the time of elections that you come to lawyers to be asking for their votes. At a time like this, everyone is important, and we intend to take it further. Of course, mentorship is one of such things that we will also look at. Of course, we expect that senior lawyers should engage some of these younger lawyers so that they are actively involved in legal practice. We don't want to have what we're experiencing today. Of course, some lawyers can also come together as a team, a consortium, to run a mega law firm. These are some of the things that we also look at, and we feel that they are very dear to us, so that in the short while, we begin to see a robust practice of law. Okay. Benin City will be a hub for legal practice.
Okay. Please confirm for us how many EXCO members have you, the new executive? How many are you?
I think we are 12 in number. 12. We have by the constitutional provision to co-opt 4 other members, and that we have also done in our EXCO meeting. Yes.
16. Yes. All right, fine. Let's talk about advocacy programs. Advocacies. The NBA is seen usually as the #1 pressure group in Nigeria. I mean, always holding government accountable, always defending the hope, the common man and all that. We've seen cases where rape cases. I mean, the most infamous one, of course, is the one that happened somewhere, in Benin City, off the Miss Uwaila case. Thankfully, the police have arrested some people. But then, we've seen situations where some of these people are not able to get justice because of a number of issues, some of which you are aware of. Maybe they can't afford the services of a legal practitioner. Maybe the snail pace of the justice system in the country, and other factors. We'd like to see how would you address this situation? Are we going to see an improvement? Is there going to be more synergy? I mean, any of you can answer.
Well, of course, as a matter of fact, legal practice, they say justice is a three-way traffic. For the state, for the victim, and then, of course, for the going forward, what we have resolved to do is to ensure that, of course, we are going to engage different committees of the Nigerian Bar Association. We intend to set up so many committees because the branch itself works through committees. Members are going to be fully involved. It's part of our manifesto. Fully involved in what we are going to be doing in a way that, of course, there's a particular committee that will address the question that you just asked. We have the Human Rights Committee. We have, of course, the Bar and Bench, the committee that will handle the issues that will engage the bar and the judiciary. There's a committee too that will engage the police, the SSS and other departments, agencies that enforce law. Of course, in doing this, we want to ensure that, particularly in the area of the judiciary, we're going to be engaging with the courts so that they put certain things in place. The matters must go on. There should be no reason why cases should not proceed to hearing. And if there's any reason that the court will not sit, lawyers should be informed in due time. And of course, the NJC is also a watch over the activities of the courts. They are expected to submit returns from time to time. If a court is underperforming, queries are issued to the courts, the judges. So the same thing too also applies. Therefore, us as lawyers will continue to advocate and canvass and speak for the ordinary man. We want to pick up public interest litigation like the police secretary alluded a while ago. We want to set up committees and pick up matters that pro bono cases for persons who are unable to kind of engage legal services. Of course, and then we have this public defender committee. In our last administration of Prince Collins Udemba, past chairman of the NBA, we had such a committee. We are going to strengthen this committee, and then we engage some other committees that will work vigorously and strongly too to ensure that the ordinary man in the society gets justice. We're going to be engaging in the areas of abuse of human rights too. We realize that the police and other law enforcement agencies are at times not up and doing. In some cases, they compromise.
That now this is a very important point. Yes. Now, the synergy between the bar, that is lawyers, and the law enforcement, police. I mean, definitely you must work hand in glove. But sometimes we've seen situations where it's almost like you are at loggerheads. We've seen situations where you are pulling in the same direction, right? There have been a lot of arguments about parading suspect. I think that is a very sore point. Someone who has not even been charged to court yet, maybe you arrested the person on suspicion and you're already parading him as a criminal. What if the person is found innocent? That is something I would like you to touch on. And then a normal relationship between the bar under your leadership and the Nigerian police. I mean, look, the Edo State Police Command. How is it going to work? What is it? What are we looking forward to that is going to benefit the person listening to you right now?
Well, interestingly, we have even commenced the process of interacting like we've always done. We've written to the Commissioner of Police for a courtesy visit. And as we did in the past, interestingly, we have a Commissioner of Police who is also friendly, is accessible. Batunde Johnson Kokuno. He picks his phone at any time you call. And then, of course, in the past, when he was Commissioner of Police, of course, before he was deployed out of Edo State, he had intervened in cases where we brought it to his attention the action of the police. So we are going to be engaging with the police from time to time. Of course, we've had seminars and we're going to do more. The police incidentally has a legal department, and that department also are headed or run by lawyers. There's going to be training and retraining seminar for lawyers and the police. I've been a kind of an attendee in a seminar where the the superior officers of the police were with us, organized by this the British Council, the ROLAC. Of course, the rule of law and anti-corruption. Some of these engagements are very important for us to be able to stem some of these tides. Of course, the average policeman may not be comfortable when he sees a lawyer comes around in defense of his client. But the truth must be said. The police as an institution or as an agency does not start and end. This is to do investigation, and of course, move if there is merit in your investigation, you charge the matter to court. And of course, the court is the final arbiter, decides, and then the prison, which is the correctional department, now takes it from there. So of course, the police is also governed, or is established by laws, and they must operate within the laws. So any infringement or violation of the rights of citizens will be resisted by lawyers. We're going to pick up public interest litigations in a way that, where of course, like the wireless matter you mentioned, we were all involved in it. We took up that matter too. Of course, you are aware of the case of the assassination of Osobase, a lawyer who was assassinated by some miscreants in Edo State here. Of course, we took that matter so seriously, and we are still following with that matter. So a lot of engagements will be going on. We will not can rest on our orders.
Okay. You want to add anything, Publicity Secretary?
Apart from the fact that we're going to engage, it's important we dialogue. That is indeed very important. But at this point in time, after doing that, we are going to name and shame mostly those who are actually not going to cooperate and work with us. It is no longer business as usual, where you come and do the thing the way you used to do it. At this point in time, those who would want to do it the other way around, it's not right. We're going to name them, we're going to shame them. This administration is a different one altogether. So we are using this as a point of contact and sending a message out to security agencies. More importantly, those who feel they can arrest, prosecute, and detain, and do everything all on their own. Because this time around, we see it every now and then. The police officer will be the one to arrest you, investigate you, prosecute you, and charge you. When I mean charge you, all inside his own cell, within his confine, without even taking you to court or doing the proper thing. That's what is happening down there. But this time around, we are going to make them understand that we are moving forward. We are going to be coming to their offices, and those who are actually not doing it right, we are going to name them publicly and shame them. So this is like a clarion call to everybody out there. Let's get to do the work. This time around, the Nigerian Bar Association Benin branch is coming out to you. And let me let this out. With respect to public defenders, which we are going to set up, we are using this opportunity to reach out to teeming Nigerian youth, artisans, those who are out there. It's an opportunity for you to reach out to us. With respect to issues, molestations, abuse, oppression from anyone within the state, as far as we are concerned, reach out to us. We are going to take up matters like that.
How did they reach out to you? I mean, so they're listening to you right now.
Now, come to Nigerian Bar Association Benin Bar House. We are there. It's known, opposite but behind the High Court. If there are issues, no matter what, like every now and then we see oppression from people who just feel. Sometimes your landlord can be oppressing you simply because you own the house and you're the one who you are the tenant. So reach out to us. We take up issues like that so seriously.
What happens? Because there've been issues most times when people find themselves in such situation, especially maybe like you mentioned, artisans and people that are not well, buoyant. How? Some people say, I don't get money to call lawyer. How do you help such people?
That's what we're saying. It's clear.
So are you saying it's free?
No, yes, it's free.
Okay.
Yes, okay. We are going to do that.
Okay, because I wanted you to say that for
yes,
them to hear.
Pro bono services. All you need to do is to reach out to us, get to us, and let us know about this, and we'll take it up.
All right. Okay. Do you mind calling out a number? So that before I look for boss to reach NBA,
let me call first, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
You can call the chairman's number or call. Okay, let me just call out. It's my number.
Your own
080 33 65 1006 080 33 65 1006. Please reach out to us.
Please call the number after the show, okay? Because I'm going to start calling you right now.
Yeah, obviously, expect some calls on your phone right now.
Okay. I think it's time to let our audience in. Yeah, I mean, if there's any question you have, you've been listening to the new executives, the new EXCO members of the NBA, the Nigerian Bar Association Benin branch, the new NBA chairman of the Benin branch, Pius Owo Esquire, and of course, Ogaga Emogari Esquire as well. So So yeah, if you have any questions or suggestions, or you have a complaint, or you want to congratulate them, you can do well to call us right now. 0706 263 9275 or 0903 939 4427. You can also call 0812 178 9154. If you prefer to send an SMS, the SMS line is 0807 400 9076. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Lucas.
Good morning to you.
Yes, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm
Welcome.
from Benin.
You're welcome, sir.
I wanted to congratulate my colleagues for peaceful election and all they have been saying since. I hope and I believe they're going to do it. And the people that are coming out from the show also here and try to apply it.
Okay.
So, also, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Barrister Otobo. Thank you, sir. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Biggie.
All right, welcome, Biggie.
Answer you. Do you want to answer? Do you want to take more questions?
Let's just let me just
Immediately, okay.
Let me
As quickly
just
as possible. Yeah.
what's his name again?
His name is
Wire.
Wire.
Okay, wire. Let me let you know. There are provisions in our laws which make you follow principles. We are not in a barbaric society. Our laws are clear, and you must follow those principles in order for you to get justice. If one commits murder or allegedly commits murder, the person is indeed entitled to a lawyer who will honorably come stand in for him, and it's the court that will now determine if the person actually commits that murder. It's the reason why we say allegedly. You understand? Why? I don't know if you is he still online?
No. He's listening through the radio. He's not online.
It's not the fault of any lawyer that comes forth and say, okay, I want to defend a murder suspect, as it were.
Okay. Well, in addition to that, too, we must understand that the blames at times should not go to the court when matters that may appear very clear end up not being resolved the way or decided the way persons want it. Investigation of a matter at the police station and the presentation of the case before the court is very, very fundamental. If a case, no matter how well prepared, how presented, a case that may appear so clear, but is wrongly or sharply presented in court, or genuine witnesses are not presented or come to court to give evidence, then of course you do not expect a conviction of an accused person or a defendant, as it were.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that clarification. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, this is Bishop Blues. Good morning to the lawyers and the London trust.
Mr. Blues, go ahead.
I just want to know based on to the lawyers there. The issue of the company get to go to police station to make an entry. You are asked to pay. And is it that you have somebody to pay for making an entry? Because this case we went it yesterday, they told us later they went to complain in the they told us to pay for entry, pay for there's so many pay.
All right, thank you very much. You want to answer that?
Sincerely, you're not supposed to pay, but it's fact though. This is like a trend. It happens every now and then. They ask you to pay. It has happened to me before now, but I did not pay. So you can as well insist not to pay. But most of the time, the next door neighbor who actually accompanied you there will be the one to tell you that just pay now. Just pay.
Basically, the law is clear.
It's clear. You're not supposed to pay to make an entry.
All right, thank you. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning, will you please be a bit more audible?
This is Sudan over here.
Sorry, say your name again, please.
Sudan.
Sudanis.
Sudan.
From Ipadale.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
What you want on that? For some, we tell the parents when they did the talk. They say this is not present matter well. Like this, the other woman that parents when they came for that time. I believe according to the law with the partner, nobody don't present the law, but they start by themselves say so you know will happen. Like this, to give election when they do so that when they say everybody here, whether you say they don't, they will say the person don't present the matter well, but you will see the video, everything for them. When you go to church, they say the person don't present that well. This means.
Yes, I think I believe you. Do you understand what he was saying?
I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really nobody's fault. The video that you say you saw, it should be tendered as evidence.
Good.
In a
Just
court of law.
like what the chairman say, you present your case very well.
Properly. That's it. Hello. Hello. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Toronto.
Charles Imariagbe. Okay, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Congratulations on this occasion of this process of the election. It's something that sometimes I know I know he can deliver. So I congratulate him and to let him know that the bar will be looking up to him to change things. And I want to take a step further to say that you see when you go to the police station, you have a case and you have to ask you for money for bail, and they say bail is free. And yet this is something that is going on rapidly every day. Everything you have to do, maybe you have to make statements or stuff like that. There's something that they will speak from you one way or the other. So you have to submit it back to be able to lead us through these things and let things be done properly. So that we know what is right, what is wrong, and we will conscientize our law enforcement officers, the police force, so that the officers begin to do what is right. So thank you very much and congratulations.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Charles Imariagbe. Do you want to take up that challenge?
Yes, thank you so much, Charles Imariagbe. I know you very well. The GM, Miss Manuel Bodedo State. Well, as a matter of fact, I understand the point you have made. It is true that the police persons engage with the police, particularly when they want to release their persons on bail and they suffer some of this. We have had cause to engage them. For several times, I will say for sure that I have visited police stations to release clients and I don't pay money. It depends on your approach to issues. Some persons may just want to say, okay, let us live here, like the PRO said, the police secretary. You are in a hurry to say, oh, instead of wasting time, they want to say, oh, come and stay overnight. You want to just part with money. As a matter of fact, if you go to any police station, there are phone numbers of the DPO or the Commissioner of Police. The numbers are not there for fun. It is true that there are bad eggs in every establishment, including the police. There are persons who would want to deliberately do things in the normal way, collecting money and extorting money from people. But I assure you that it is not this case with all of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's just check out one or two messages before we leave because we're almost out of time. Good morning, KUFM. My name is Victor from Depot. First, I want to commend the efforts of the new NBA executives. But you see, in Nigeria, it's easier said than done. We have nice plans, but lack implementation. So my question is, what's the guarantee that these plans will be implemented and not fade out afterwards? Okay, Victor, there's going to be more engagement. I think this is not the last time we are going to have you guys, you gentlemen, on the program. Don't worry, Victor. Just stay in touch. From Old Soldier, morning, my people. Okay, from Old Soldier, good morning, my people. Congrats, NBA New Exco. I know many people who are oppressed. I will bring them to your NBA. Thanks and God bless you. Okay. Addison says, good morning, Charles and Orlando. Please help me ask the new NBA chairman of the Benin NBA branch how far with the case of the murdered lawyer at Aduawa by the son of Afro. Okay. I believe you've already spoken to that already. So we're out of time. So quickly, in 20 seconds, I'd like you to give your closing remarks before we leave.
I want to sincerely thank everyone and I assure you that what we have planned and marshaled out to do as an executive, we will surely do. Nigerians and particularly members of the bar and those in Benin should keep faith and hope in what we have promised to do.
All right. Thank you very much. That was the voice of the new chairman of the Benin branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, Barrister Pius Oiwo. Of course, many thanks to the Publicity Secretary, Barrister Ogaga Emolari. Thank you for coming on the program this morning.
Thanks for having us.
All right, this will end this morning's edition of the program. My name is Charles Otlong.
I am Godfrey Orlando. Good morning.